Nate, you posted on your Substack a while back about scaling a micro SaaS to 1,000 customers. And you wrote that scaling isn't about doing everything at once, it's about doing the right things in the right order. So what are the right things and what is the right order to do them in?
I'm glad you asked that because, the thing about it is that people typically, and this isn't just micro SaaS, I mean, this is for anything that you're building. You could consider micro SaaS as just a small version of what could become in the future, but you're trying to figure out whether the thing is actually going to be traction in the first place. And the real answer is focus. Try to stay as focused as you can on certain elements of what you're trying to accomplish. Because as soon as you start a business, you get a to-do list a million miles long. So the answer, though, it's different for each stage of how many customers you have, and ideally you're progressing. So almost always you're going to start out with some sort of 0 to 100 customers. It's probably going to be direct. It's probably going to be within your network. You're going to ask a bunch of people who you know, or at least you can contact, to come in and at least run the thing, see if it works for them. What do they like? What do they not like? Do all those kinds of questions. Ideally, you're also in that same time building an audience. One of the biggest unlocks and hacks that you can have is if you start with an audience at the first place. And so most of us don't. We don't start with an audience. And so to build that, you want to do some sort of content marketing, distributing value in other ways that's bringing in the right customer for you, or at least what you think is the right customer. And then, of course, there's the launch lists and all of those kinds of places where you can get backlinks and attention from hopefully the right place. So launch lists, product hunt types of things. I'm not big on product hunt anymore, but those kinds of areas, places where you can get some exposure to get in front of your potential right customer. Those would be great places to be. So that's kind of the easy stuff for the first 100. And after that, you kind of start to lose a little bit of momentum in those distribution channels. So you kind of start switching from that to more of, ideally, you're getting word of mouth. If you're getting your customers to talk to other potential customers, that would be great. Or you're getting them to talk online and social media or something like that. Probably pushing on some SEO, but this might take a little while, but you want to start that as early as you can. Push on some SEO content, and that will drive over time. That will get larger and larger. That would be the goal. And then I wrote another piece on strategic partnerships, and I think that that's another huge unlock for companies to do early on. If you can get a couple hundred customers in that way, that can just grow over time with your strategic partner. But it also gives you the ability to think about where a potential exit strategy could come from, potential investors, strategic investors who might want to participate with you in building something, especially if you are kind of the solution to a problem that their customers have. That would be fantastic. It's a great partnership, and they look at that as a natural kind of fit, and they'll think about it from a build versus buy scenario in the future. And then later, once you kind of get past about 500 customers or so, you're looking at organic search partnerships, referral programs, and paid acquisition. But you don't want to do the paid acquisition early because you're just burning money all you're really trying to do is figure out whether this thing actually has legs. You want to do that later when you have a better understanding of who your ideal customer profile is, what kind of key emotional conversion words they have. Those are whatever their triggers are for buying, and you want to make that work from the ad all the way to the landing page and throughout the product. But you don't want to do that early because you just don't know what you don't know so early on, right? You might change the product before you get to that level of customers. But that's kind of the focus. Really stick to direct outreach first and content, a little bit of content marketing, and then ideally you're getting word of mouth, strategic partnerships, and SEO, and then last you'll start to change your focus more towards organic search, partnerships, referrals, and paid acquisition. But I would say that's still a lot. I would still say look at which of those distribution channels is working the best for you and double down on that and forget the rest. Just go after one channel that's working really, really well. It's just that might change as you grow. And ideally it does, because you'll get more and more mature and you'll figure out more and more about your customer and where they exist.
Hey, it's Ryan here. If you liked that video, please click the like and subscribe button somewhere down there and check out the full interview right over here. Go on, click it. You know you want to.